we have with us our first keynote speaker, Mr. Avinash Mane, Commercial Director at Lenzing Group. Mr. Avinash is presently responsible for the complete business of India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Thailand, and Middle Eastern markets for Lenzing textile fibers. Apart from directing the sales activities, Avinash involves in interactions with key stakeholders across the supply chain from fiber to finished garments, providing end-to-end solutions to the industry. He is responsible for strategy for product innovation and business development in various segments as well as driving marketing and brand partnerships for India and other countries in the region. We also have with us Mr. Arpit Srivastav, Regional Marketing and Branding Manager South Asia, Middle East and Thailand at Lenzing Group with him. A very warm welcome to both of you. I would like to invite Mr. Avinash Mane to kindly start with a keynote. Thank you.
Yeah, good afternoon again to everybody. And as I can see, it's a post-lunch session. Some laziness is there, so we'll start with some good short video for a minute as what lensing fibers can do to the fashion industry. Hope this has helped all of you to just wake up a little bit, shake your bodies, and get into the tune of what we are here for. So just to keep it short and a clear message to the whole students here that even though lensing fibers is known for its role in sustainability front since many decades, now the footprint is well created in South Asia market as well as in Indian domestic market as well. And my key message here to the students here, we are available, and that is exactly what I was discussing with the institute, that fabrics can be made available, which can be worked on, which can be tested by the students as what can be created out of this. So apart from that, what we would like to majorly do for the soft, first thing is not only for GFI but and not only for the soft but also for all fashion institutes to come forward and give this opportunity to them in terms of the fabrics which can be made available to them for testing. Now quickly I would run through a short presentation as what we are offering to the industry as something new on sustainability platform. We can start a presentation in brief. So we are already in action and time is now to go into the action against what the climatic changes are happening. Next please. As mentioned prior to the lunch also in this session, somebody who is working on sustainability, they have to get well aligned with the SDGs, and Lenzing is well aligned with all its sustainability initiatives with the 17 SDGs which are there. We align our strategy on sustainability in a way that we are contributing to the 4 to 5 SDGs very well. So I will say next, then you can roll on to the next slide, please. That would be most easiest way of doing it. So as I said, we are well aligned with the SDG goals and where we can fit in terms of using the right raw materials, sustainable raw materials, using the right practices when we are manufacturing our products and fibers. And third thing is comes the when we are getting it back to the nature with regard to the decomposition as well as the biodegradability of the products. So on these three aspects, which covers the complete life cycle of the product, this is well aligned with what SDGs are being laid down. Next, please. Yeah. Um, Facts that the times have gone when organizations are keeping sustainability as one of their topic, but it has to now become into the core of individual organization. And Lenzing is the first fiber company to have the science-based goals. That means we are being our bottom lines are measured as how we are moving forward towards our sustainability targets. Just to give a brief, like we have currently a target of going completely carbon zero by 2050, looking at the situation now. However, the journey has already started and this will get reviewed to make it happen even before that. So that's the key message here, that we work on clear science-based targets. Next. 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 Yeah. When we take a greenhouse gas emissions, like from where the main pollutants are coming, these are coming from the, there are different scopes which are identified. One thing is how you are getting your raw material. Second thing is how you are converting it into your finished products which goes out of your plant. And third aspect is how it is getting used, or how we can get it collaborated when it is running through the industry. Here, when it is coming to making any fibers, this is a little different than what happens to the cotton. Like when it is wood-based cellulosic fibers, whether it is Ecovero, which is sustainable viscose, or Tencel, or Modal. Here, the journey starts from wood pulp, or to go back even the tree stems, which are the key raw material here, that needs to get into the plants, and then it goes through the process of cutting them into chips, getting it converted into dissolvable cellulose. Then it is passed through the spinnerets, and you have the fine streams of these fibers coming out. It is cut into the required lengths, and then it goes to the next stage of the getting converted into yarn, fabric, and then finished products into the industry. So when it is coming to addressing sustainability, it needs to be addressed at all these three stages of manufacturing. And unless and until this is getting addressed appropriately, you won't have those complete approach of making the product fully sustainable. Next. This is like in brief split of total emissions, which mainly happens in the textile industry, and the scope 3, it shows it's happening in the major way, where the main concern is and to getting it reduced. Next. What solution which is brought into the industry from Lenzing from year 2020 end was to start with the true carbon zero solution for the industry. So here it's a certified carbon zero neutral fibers which we are now started offering to the industry, and it started in the bulk almost 6 to 8 months back, and this is something which is very new. Slowly we are putting this forward to the local markets also, in the Indian domestic market also, and this is the area where the collaboration can really happen to take this forward in a big way with the institutes also. Next, please. Next. Yeah, that's right. So it's worked on the 3 principles, like reduce, engage, and offset. We reduce the impact coming from the raw material. We engage in a collaborative way with the converters or with the supply chain partners, And third thing is like still we are not there with this complete carbon zero on the sites. We have to offset whatever residual carbon footprint is there, which we are taking care by some global identified initiatives. Next. Yeah. Next please. This is like reducing the carbon footprint at the manufacturing stage. Again, it's the same thing. Like since the time is less, it's difficult to go into the details of each and every aspect. But then when we are handling, say, the raw material and the manufacturing process, how we are sourcing it in a sustainable way, like having the raw material from FSC, PEFC certified forest, using the canopy style of raw material sourcing, which has its own ratings and certifications. Those all aspects are covered here. Manufacturing in greener way involves using less amount of water, keeping the sulfur emissions to the minimum level. Those all aspects are covered when it is coming to efficient way of production. Next. So this is very important slide to have a look. Um, as we mentioned earlier, we are on the journey of this carbon zero. We make our fibers at minimum carbon footprint as of now, and at the same time, whatever residual carbon footprint is there, which is as such quite less, we need to get them offsetted by doing some activities. So that will come up next. So these are like a few examples where this remaining carbon footprint are being taken care of by doing these offset projects in different parts of the world. We try to engage more to the areas where textile is closely associated. Like one of the project we can see here is we are working closely with Bangladesh gas distribution system. Bangladesh is very strong and they are having good reserves of natural gas, but the distribution system is very weak. There are huge losses happening in this distribution system. So project is initiated by the carbon neutral bodies to get it reduced, and then we make our contribution for that, and we get our residual carbon footprint offsetted for the same. So that's one of the examples. Similarly, there are projects on solar energy. There are projects on you are taking care of power generation with renewable sources. So those are projects are initiated from our end to offset the residual carbon footprint. Next. So that is what makes a product completely carbon neutral at the end. And we are proud to say that this is something which is very innovative. We are having our science-based targets very much in place. Anything new which we do, first priority is to give importance. At least, if we are not moving inch forward on sustainability, but at least we are ensuring that we are not doing any more damage or any more problem to the industry. That is something which is very important. And then measure ourselves on a regular basis as how we are moving forward with our science-based targets. So that's how Lenzing takes it to the stride as when it is coming to the sustainability. Next. Yeah, thank you. I think I'm well in time. I required to rush through it because of the time restrictions which I had. I wanted to keep a couple of minutes for question and answer also. Any question, any doubt, we can quickly take it up.
Any question from the audience?
Yeah.
Can we have the mic, please?
Myself Ashima Arora, and I'm from Oro University, Surat here. Actually, one of my last year students of Bachelor of Design, she is pursuing her research on viscose fabrics. So I wanted to ask that, like, how open are you in terms of students coming to your factory, the production floor, and understanding the process and how does it actually happen? Because she has been getting a lot of data from the secondary resources, but every time it is the primary source and going themselves personally and seeing it happening. So how open are you for the institutes visiting it?
We are based out of Austria in Europe, and we are open for this kind of visit as well as the knowledge sharing. Benjamin, he had been to our plant few months back, or wherever he wishes he travel. So only thing is like prior appointment needs to be made, since it's highly technologically oriented plant, and safety also needs to be taken care. So that's the thing. Otherwise, as
So
long
the
as
production unit is not in India.
sorry,
Production unit is not in India as of now.
no, where production we are not producing in India as of now. Yeah, we are in Austria, we are in UK, and we are in USA.
Any more questions from the audience?
Hey.
Questions from audience, not from you.
No, but just something to add, like, because you said secondary sources, you find also a lot of primary sources actually, because even the sustainability reports and the reports on the forest, like the primary, when making the fibers about the wood shops and stuff like that, you find a lot of independent audit reports about the company Lenzing as well, which is quite deep, I think, because we also, as a fabric wholesaler, try to study them. So you find a lot of things like that, and you can always ask, I think, to direct you to those from the CSR. And my question is, when you say, I mean, India is a big market, and we try to be more regional, and it's reduce, engage, offset, as you said. So we try to be, as a fabric wholesaler, as local as possible in our production. So what are the plans for the Asian continent, let's say? I mean, India is a subcontinent, but for this region here to reduce in terms of transport also. There's something in Thailand planned, am I right?
Yeah, that's exactly what my answer was. Like after being in Europe for so many decades, and it's taking a lot of carbon emissions, for fiber to get transported from Europe and UK and USA to India. We are setting up our facility in Thailand, and Thailand will be it's at verge of startup now. It will be operational from January 2022 or Feb 2022. So that itself will bring a lot of this carbon emissions which are coming out of this transportation to a bare minimum level, because this Thailand plant will be serving entire South Asia and Southeast Asia continent.
And adding the question with the primary source for the Thailand plant, where do you get the woods from, or like the cellulose from, in this sense?
See, when it is coming to wood and pulp out of this, like we use our own pulp maximum, and that is what you might have seen at Lenzing also. We have our own pulp mill, and that is what governs the quality of the final product. So we would be getting the pulp still from our European sites to start with, and afterwards we will try to localize it as long as we are getting the same expected quality of the pulp, because we are going to make tencel lyocell in Thailand, which is flagship product for Lenzing. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.